I want to bring in now Titus Nichols, who is a criminal defense attorney, a former prosecutor, a law professor at UGA. Titus, this is a huge verdict. What are your initial thoughts?
This is absolutely huge because of the fact that this has gained so much publicity. And yes, when they were picking the jurors, many of them said they would not allow it to affect the decision, but we're human. And they recognized that they were deciding the fate of R.Kelly, a very famous individual. The fact that they came back on every single count of guilty means that they listened to the evidence presented by the government. They listened to the defendant's arguments, but they were not persuaded. They truly believed that he had sexually assaulted and transported all of these victims for an illegal purpose. And you also have the fact that the government did not want to have a rehash of what happened in R. Kelly's original trial that took place. Even though it was different jurisdiction, it was state level prosecutors, but that had just an entire list of things that went wrong that hampered the prosecution. Here, the federal government understood they had their opportunity to hold R. Kelly accountable for his crimes against these young women, and they made sure to bring more than just enough evidence, but more than enough evidence for this jury to find him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Let's talk about the defense, Titus. What's your reaction to the defense and the defense that was put up for R. Kelly? We know he didn't testify. He chose not to take the stand. Do you think that was a mistake?
It's possible. Considering the fact that R. Kelly is a celebrity, there was the likelihood the jury wanted to hear from him his explanation. They wanted to understand, why do you think all these girls are painting you out to be a monster? What is your side of the story? Who are you? How do you explain all these situations where these girls were transported over here? Did they come based upon their own free will? Were they able to leave on their own? Did you take steps to stop them? But by him exercising his constitutional right to remain silent, the jury never got to hear that part of the story. They had to hear it through his attorneys or through the witnesses that they presented. And unfortunately, that's not always the most persuasive tactic in a trial. Back when I was a prosecutor, one thing I used to tell my victims in my case is that the verdict represents closure. It represents finality. After this long, arduous struggle that you've all been through, undoubtedly they've had to go through people accusing them of lying and people saying that they weren't telling the truth. They had their moment in court where they told the truth. They faced R. Kelly, looked him in the eye, and told the jury what he had done to them. And now a jury has spoken in their favor and has found him guilty. Now they get to begin the healing process of moving on because they know that their abuser has been held accountable by the justice system.
This is a significant outcome, Julia. I don't think that can be underscored enough because this is alleged conduct. Well, now he's been found guilty. So this is conduct over a 30-year period, a very long period of time. Multiple witnesses, multiple instances, testimony, very graphic, hard to listen to about the things that he did to women, men, children. It's a staggering verdict, really, for all of these victims in a good way, that hopefully they can find some peace or justice, if possible, after going through these things.